Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Anderson. I've got Coach Edie, Coach Grooms. It's the community football coach show today. Guys, I've been in purple all day long today. Letting this right here work.
Represent.
Yeah.
Thanks to you guys. I appreciate it. The Coach Grooms show is brought to you by Shelbyville Animal Hospital, 628 North Main Street, 931-684-8088. Dr. Andrea Anderson, who happens to be my wife, and Dr. Stephen Stimson of the vets. You go in there, you might get lucky and see my daughter Julia. She works up front in there with me for your small animals, cats, and dogs. Shelbyville Animal Hospital, right here in Shelbyville. 931-684-8088. Coach, 58-14, tough one, but your kids, talk to me. How'd they do?
Hey, they played good. We came out. We punted. They ran one back on us. And I think the next punt, we tried to punt and we snapped it over the punter's head. Things happen, and we deal with adversity. So we started fighting back a little bit. We made a quarterback change. We went with Niles Barnett out there, our freshman. We put him out there. We liked our situation better with Makai being out there, out wide. We found a package that was working for us. So we started getting the run game going a little bit. Started getting some success, which opened up the pass game. We started moving the ball, got a couple scores. Defense was fighting hard and just was undersized on the D-line, O-line.
Right. Squatchy's tough ball club. Defensively, how'd we do?
Defensively,
because you put yourself in some bad spots, dude.
Yes,
and all this other stuff.
Defensively, we kept them under 58, and I know it ain't much, but when you spot them 7 and then 2 points, I said we gave them probably 16 points before we even got really going. I said so we're still fighting from behind. We ain't been able to show up in the first quarter and get on somebody yet.
And Coach, it's tough when you all start in a hole like that. When you come out and get yourself in a hole, it's so hard to get out of it. Isn't it, Coach Edie?
It is. And then, defense being out on the field a lot of time, it's going to wear them down. So
Right. It doesn't take long, does it? Especially when you got freshmen and sophomores.
Right.
Yes.
That's tough. So tough loss there this week. Giles County, guys.
Oh, yes, sir.
And that's going to be tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we get to go there. Nice stadium, nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
I told them we watched film. We're showing them, though, not last year's game, but the game before, trying to get them prepared. When you got a bunch of freshmen and sophomore, you got to let them know what type of environment you're stepping into.
Did y'all play Giles last year?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You remember the score by
We
chance?
played them at our house. We kept it close to halftime. We was one score down at half. And then they got the QB run game going, and they started walking away from us.
Right.
And I noticed that Giles beat Grundy County 56-6.
Yes,
but I will say this: Watertown gave Giles a pretty good ball game the week before. I think we talked about that 50-34. Watertown hung with them for a little while. Of course, Grundy did not.
Yes, sir. We watched that film this week, and we was just kind of pointing out some things because we've already played Grundy, and we run a lot of similar offensive plays that Grundy runs. So we just showing them how we could exploit it.
Your other opponent coming up is Red Bull and Springs, who's having a pretty good year. And I think some guys I know up there thought they could play with Gordonsville. Gordonsville beat them 49-19.
Yeah.
What they thought.
Yeah, Red Bull and Springs had a good season so far.
They
got a nice quarterback. He's a big, tall fellow. We've seen him in 7-on-7. He can distribute the ball pretty good. But from what we've seen 7-on-7, there's a lot like us. They didn't have a lot of depth.
Right.
So, maybe if we get going fast, our no huddle, we can wear them down, get them tired.
Our schedule basically is Giles County this week on the road. Then you have Red Bowling Springs, and we play Watertown, correct?
Yes,
that's correct.
Watertown's pretty good.
Oh, yes.
And Red Bowling, where's it at?
It's up.
No, where's it at? Is it here?
Oh, it's at our house.
So we got that at home.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
We got Red Bowling at home and Watertown at home. Watertown will be on a Thursday night, though.
So the last 2 games are at home.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. That's really good. Well, another question I had for you. Your kids, what's impressive is they keep coming back and battling, don't they, every week? You've not had anybody quitting. You've not had any of that. And everybody's ready to go.
No, yes, sir. That's what we was talking about before we came in here. We was talking about how, they got fight. They're fighting for 48 minutes with us out there. I said, they don't give up till it's time to shake hands. I said, and then afterwards, give them 24 hours, let them recover, and we'll go back to war.
And I apologize for not looking this up. This is a curiosity stat. And David, you may know, David Thomas is working the camera for us. 3A football, I was noticing your enrollment's like 575. Cascade's like 525. So I guess that's what makes you 3A and then 2A.
Yes, sir.
What on earth would Giles County's enrollment be? I should have looked it up there, and I apologize, but I can't see it being under 600.
No,
So do you know what the enrollment would be for 3A at the low end versus a high end, or a rough guess?
the rough guess? It was, if I recall, the last time it was around 600 to about 900.
Okay, that's a big variance.
Yes.
then.
Right.
Because we're at
So-
the low end.
So you're at the very low end. It could be up to 900 on the other end,
Yes,
which is
sir.
almost 2 to 1.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, that makes sense then. Because I saw where Shelbyville dropped at like 1525 or 15, whatever it was, and they had dropped from 6A back down to 5A. But this gap in 3A is big.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
So how many students would you have to go down to get back into 2A? Is it
Uh,
550 maybe I saw, or
yeah,
am I wrong?
it's around 5.
So you're only like 25 kids over, but I don't see that the way we're growing. I don't
Yeah.
see that going down.
Yeah, it keeps coming.
What I see happening, and I want to talk to you about tonight, and maybe Coach Tyre and I talked about this too. We sort of see all the 2A schools going up to 3A,
Yes,
and
sir.
we're all going to be back in here together the next
Oh,
time.
yes, sir.
Would that be what we think?
Yes,
Yeah.
we see that happening.
I mean, so you're going to have
Forest-
Forest,
Forest is moving up.
Yeah.
Cascade will move
Cascade will
up.
move up. They'll reform the region and community, Cascade,
Right.
Forest,
Yes, sir.
and Giles eventually is going to have to go up, you would think. But I would
Yeah,
think
we hope so.
I would think then 3A is going to be a little different
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
this next time, which you got one more year under this, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
But now next year, we're looking a little better because we're going to have these freshmen and sophomores that we've talked about are sophomores and juniors, and the
Yeah.
freshmen are sophomores,
Right.
Yes, sir.
and keeping them interested in the program.
Yep, we got about 22 freshmen coming up next year,
Good.
so we'll have a nice size team.
And seniors, how many graduating?
5. We
You only
got
got
5
5 seniors. How many juniors you got?
2.
What's happening with the junior class, Coach?
They was playing golf.
Playing golf, not football. Today's show is brought to you by Shelbyville Animal Hospital, 628 North Main Street, right here in Shelbyville. Dr. Anderson, my wife, and Dr. Stimpson, the veterinarians there, and you can stop in there and see my daughter Julia. And she appreciates the shout out on the show, about like Rick Epperson does on Coach Dryden's show. My daughter loves a good shout out. Good shout out to you, Julia. Coach, any other parting shots for us tonight?
No, just if you're in Pulaski, swing by and watch a game.
Because that is a nice stadium, guys.
Oh,
And
we
I've
love
said
it.
this. There's small colleges that don't have a stadium like Giles County
Right.
Oh,
does.
yes, sir.
If you haven't been there, it's worth it just to go look at the stadium. It is a super facility down there. And it's sort of different because it's kind of like in a pit, sort of
Mhm.
down low right there, around the city park right there.
Yes, sir.
Great place to watch a football game. Coach Edie, Coach Grooms, we appreciate it. For Coach Edie, Coach Grooms, I'm Bill Anderson, and we'll see you right